Going forward into 2016, do we have a legit chance for an NA Asian or Australian team or something like that to actually rise up against the juggernauts?
Define rise up. Like how far do they have to go?
I don't think necessarily that anyone needs to be tournament winning, but when are we going to see our first top 8 team?
Okay, well, top 8?
Yeah.
I mean, Cloud9's been close. Yeah, that's happened. But I think NA, they're very stubborn in terms of they don't want to admit themselves that they are a lot worse than Europeans. So what I mean by that, so for example, let's take Cloud9. They were on this roll, 2 top 2 finishes, maybe even 3. They were all the way up there, and then all of a sudden it's just whoop. Okay, it's gone. Okay, what happened? But we were here. 2 weeks later, we're here. What happened? And like one of the things, I forget who it was. Maybe it was Moses. It was talking about like coaches in general. Like that is kind of one of the teams where they have the talent. They have the players they need to succeed because obviously they did it before. It's just that they need help. And NA in general, they don't really try to seek for any kind of help. They want to do it themselves. Very
very bullish.
Freedom.
No, I understand.
Very proudful and stuff. And look at Europeans, since we are so far ahead, and they are even taking that step now as well with having coaches. Maybe don't even need it, but they are going that extra mile because they know that's what they need to compete against the top. Whereas for NA, it still feels that they're in this kind of situation where it's like, well, best team in NA. I don't care.
So we know that there's a certain number of teams that are coming to the Turner League and things like that. Will that help giving NA teams more stability? Will it help them to realize these things? Or
no, but it's not that they're not getting paid right now.
I mean, not even
everyone
that,
is getting paid. They all have the same amount of time to practice. There's no excuse anymore. Before, like a year ago,
yeah.
The funniest part for me was where a year ago when NA, they were saying, well, we don't have any teams to play against. How can we improve and play versus the Europeans? And then you have a team like, currently known as Renegades. Vox and Minor before had no one to play with, and the same with the Brazilians. Yeah. Same thing there. Yeah. Currently Luminosity, before it was Keat Stars, they also didn't have that many people to play against. And then you have NA, they have a lot of team to play against. People that travel abroad, maybe it's only 2 or 3, but the scene itself was a lot stronger. So that was a very bad excuse for the NA teams, the professional scene, saying that well, we can't compete because we don't have anyone to practice against. And then both the Australians and the South Americans comes and just prove you wrong. So then obviously they have the salary, they get the money to practice. They do get to go to international events. They have a strong scene. I mean, NA CS in general are because of the country or the region is by far the biggest CS population we have. So there's no doubt that you don't have the players. It's just that, so what is missing? Well, you have a lot of players with skill. I mean, look at Skadoodle. He was almost crowned as one of the best options in the world. You guys have Hiko. You have good players, but obviously still something is missing. What is that?
And I think it goes even it transcends and goes even before Counter-Strike Go. Like we've always, for a lot of reasons, we've been behind the Europeans in Counter-Strike. I mean, 1.6 same as well. And I think one of the biggest issues is North American bravado and ego, and lack of proper use of their time. In Europe, when they scrim, for the most part, they'll play all 30 rounds and they'll actually scrim.
Sure.
To work on strategies, to work on their various things they want to work on that map against whoever they're playing with, right? North Americans scrim to win the scrim.
Yeah.
I understand.
And that is absolutely...
That's not preparation.
It builds a false sense of confidence. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've talked to North American guys, like, they've done a boot camp in Europe, and then they'll be going into the major.
Oh, don't tell me this.
And they'll be like...
I hate this. Right? This always grinds my gears.
We won all our scrims, man. We were going to be on fire. We were ready to rock and roll. And I'm like, you don't think that those teams weren't practicing weird shit?
You're an idiot.
Like, they're practicing in your... Like... And they do this in North America. They 10-man a lot. Like they don't spend their limited resources of time when they're not actually playing matches to properly prepare for those matches. And when they do, you do see a difference. When Sean Garris can take time to counter strat and look at demos and really get his team prepared for a series of other teams, it will show. But back home, forget about it.
Yeah. And that's one of the downsides because they travel so much. So he doesn't have.
And this is a big issue in Counter-Strike in general. Like, we're not seeing the best Counter-Strike these days because teams don't have a chance to reset and fix their mistakes. They go, like literally, the teams came home from Cluj, and Monday night they were playing online matches that matter.